Now you know. Yo. My check. My check. Check. My check. My check. My check. 1 2 1 2. 1 2. Check. Check. My check. 1 2 1 2. One, two. My check. 1 2. Check.
Yeah, I want to say thank God for waking us up, and bringing us back to life, Yeah.
Check.
Check. America indeed is from the evil the Bible speaks. The beast and the dragon tell the people of East or the Babylon. If he sex her and she fi marry man, don't make Adam and Eve. Not Steve and Adam, nice woman, them a leave. Even Eve have madam. Just make we upright, but them a cleave and butter. Burning in them lost where that a demon pattern. Leviticus 18 verse 22. God told us not to follow what they do. Every chicken and every fish and pet slew. Cause the judgment of other days son of his soul. We wanna follow God laws and follow fools. Cause many are called but chosen are few. The throne of iniquity, the most high rules. But the Bible prophesies what the fathers want to do. It's not discrimination, it's a righteous resistance. Cast out the population from the life of existence. Building up a nation when we wipe up the sisters. Pure abomination when the Bible contradicts in Stone Age. You put body bam bam on flintstone. Judge said the lightning, thunder and brimstones. To any Israelites what can't get the picture. Rise up the banner, make we blast out the scripture. Leviticus 18 verse 22. God told us not to follow what they do. Cause every chicken girl and every fish out get slew. Cause the judgment of other days son of his son. We wanna follow God's laws and follow fools. Cause many are called but chosen not few. The throne of iniquity, the most high rules.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Check. Mic check. 1 2. And when them open up them out to hear it in them talk, it seem like them crazy, me now make them face me. Cause me love myself, please believe me when me say this. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, mic check, 1 2. 1 2. Mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check, mic check, 1 2. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. Anything. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2. 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Me no business if you shoot me, sir officer. Flames you I go feel well hotter than your copper shot. Destroy my people, it's written you must pay for that. One shot when me come down, this price not super cat. Eye for your eye and a tooth for your tooth. Wound for your wound and a strike for your strike, sir. When we are rule over the pagan, we are beat it and a beat it. No, we not go show compassion. So when we sing, when we are rule over the pagan, we are beat it and a beat it. No, we not go show compassion. After all, I'm in your suntan. I watch all me enemy fall. After all, the heathen are born. I Israel the most and you can. Them see me and I hate when they know say that me great. Should I never violate and I try to take my place. Mic check. Them are trying to erase, but a judgment time no one. Mic check. Mic check. This a show down under the wild west. Precepts on me bullet, Bible on me face. All nations them a go get put to rest. After we come up out of the wilderness, no captivity, no more stress. The most high, give me the spiritual power. Eagle and the dragon and the beast I get devour. Revenge I go sweet, but to them it a go sour. Yada yada me on, when we are rule over the pagan, we are beat it and a beat it. No, we not go show compassion. So when we sing, yada yada me on, when we are rule over the pagan, we are beat it and a beat it. No, we not go show compassion. Yada yada me on, when we are rule over the pagan, we are beat it and a beat it. No, we not go show compassion. So when we sing, brother, I am in a
Mic check.
when we are rule over dirty pagan, we are beat it and I beat it. No, we not gonna show compassion.
Mic check. Mic check. One, two. Mic check. One, two. Mic check. One, two. Mic check. One, two. Mic check. Mic check. One, two. Mic check. One, two. One, two. One, two. One, two. Mic check. Not that. One, two. One, two. Good?
Hypocrite can't slow me down. Grabbing a barrel can't hold me down. Never gonna take my crown. I'ma keep moving on. Hypocrite can't slow me down. Grabbing a barrel can't hold me down. Never gonna take my crown. I'ma keep moving on. I'ma keep moving on. Up here them no mind, no mind. Up here them no mind, no mind. Them too bad mind, them too bad mind. They don't want to we shine, they don't want to we shine. Up here them no mind, no mind. Up here them no mind, no mind. Them too bad mind, them too bad mind. They don't want to we shine, they don't want to we shine. They hate you for what you got. You're successful, but they are not. They smile in your face, but they really wanna take your spot. But they know they cannot. That's why they wanna see you get shot. They're full up of envy, yeah. Listen to the sea. Closer, keep me true friend, them closer. Man claims say them real, but them change over. Happy circumspect, happy stay sober. Can't sleep cause them money make your life over. Closer, keep me true friend, them closer. Shake enemies off of your shoulder. Happy circumspect, happy stay sober. Stay true to the one God, to Jehovah. When them a hate for, talk them a talk and we no cater. See through your lies, you a faker. Backstabber, you a traitor. Friends see on occasion. Time sweet, man I celebrate. And then it get rough, then turn into Satan. Never have your back for real, then betray man.
Lift your head up, hold it high. Keep on believing in the Most High. Keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing. I know times get rough, still gotta hold a faith. Jah promised me the whole wide world, I just gotta wait. Lift your head up, hold it high. Keep on believing in the most. Keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing.
I know that life you're up, but yo, me nah go wash the face because me know the Father got me over. Me steady hold the faith in the struggle and the trial. Devil coulda never touch me, no. Me have to pay the rent, I know me have to pay the rent, but me don't know where that I come from, no. But I providing for the saints, man, me know him watching over me, that I give me comfort, yeah. Me have a baby on the way, I know me need a place to stay, so me praying every day, I know. But as I give me guidance, remember him I lead the way, remember him I lead the way, you know. Even when me pocket cannot swallow, me still have something to eat, me still have something to swallow, oh. Jaja, you make my day, I me never gonna stray, cause I you me, I go follow, oh.
Hold it high, keep on believing in the most high. Keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing. I depend on you, Jaja, to direct my path. I know you see me through, Jaja, and I know chosen are of you, Jaja. And Lord, be my guide, cause all I need is you, Jaja. Israel, life is so hard, but there's no need to cry. Stand firm on your faith, all you gotta do is try. Jaja will be there, raise your head to the sky, and give thanks to the Father. All praises to the Most High. Hold it high, keep on believing in the Most High. Keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing, keep on believing. Even when times get rough, Jaja will be there. And even when the going gets tough, Jaja will be there. When the world's turned against you, Jaja will be there. So lift your head high and praise the Most High. Hold on, keep on believing. Most High, the Most High. Believing, la loi Benji, nous bras cassés, vos autres bruits. Venez, nous parti, oh, venez, Benji.
The weapons of our warfare is not carnal. Oh no. Don't need no answer lot to take over the block. Oh no. Set stop on your partner, I would need as the Bible. Whoa. With the Lord by my side, I know I am able. Whoa. It please the Lord by the foolishness of preaching. Save those that are lost and still searching. Bring them in before the fire start blazing. Lightning, thunder, and swords start swinging. Dashing of teeth, enough heads will be rolling. Redemption time and Israel is rising. MHNCB and Babylon will be burning. Christ is black, the Eden is falling.
La loi Benji, nous bras cassés, vos autres bruits. Venez, nous parti, oh, venez,
I'll be there when you need me. Just call me. Words can't explain what I feel for you. You're all that's on my mind.
Mic check. No. Check. Check. Not that.
Let's go.
Baby, tell me what you need.
What I need.
I'ma follow you lead. Baby, tell me what you want, I'll do. I know
Mic check.
I'll be there when you need me. Just call me. Words can't explain what I feel for you. You're what's on my mind, babe. I just wanna please you. I just wanna please you. I just wanna please you.
shit, mic check. Check. Mic check.
Show me how you are gonna be the back to me. Show me. So listen, nobody bring it chatter to me. Well then, action. What you say? Speak loud, real talk. You see them face? Which one? Are you proud? Which one? Prove my friend. What you say? 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 100, yeah. Don't pretend, no sack. I'm your head, yeah. I'm your lord. Facts. I'm the
Check.
Now yeah.
Yo. Check.
They friend, yeah. Behind your back, they your enemy. They ain't real. They just pretend, yeah. From the start, they wanna see you ain't, yeah. Shame on you.
Check.
They're not evolving, so they put the blame on you, yeah. Blame on you. You don't see that you got the devil on you. Back 9, money, son, girl, daddy worse. They won't say bless you, but they wanna see you curse. They wanna see you dead, they wanna see you in a hearse. They hate your dirty ways, cause you acting perverse. So stay far from me, stay far. If you can't change your ways, you're gonna be lonely. If you can't change your ways, I don't gossip, I'm on my own, yeah. Backbiting, I don't condone. They talk about you fake, behind your back, real talk, people business, I don't disclose. I'm on my own, yeah. I'm on my own, yeah. My own business, yeah. I'm on my own,
yeah.
I'm on my own, yeah. I'm on my own, yeah. My own business, yeah. I'm on my own.
All praise to the king, to the general, salute the army, to the federal. I take the scripts and make it literal. Clean with the mind, spiritual, mineral, yeah. Me no deal with the deal bill thing. Sit down and gas up every time the phone a ring. Me no deal with the scandal thing. No talk when you hear if you can't prove the thing. So me boss a spiritual shot. Lock down the enemy shop. Make them know this are the most hot spot. First fruit, cream and the crop. Them would I love, if you see the pepper flap flap. Build up a grudge cause the style them hot. Push me no budge man a spiritual rock. Till then catch your vibe on your high.
it. I'm on my own. Backbiting, I don't condone. They talk about you behind your back, real talk, people business, I don't disclose. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business, yeah, I'm on my own. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business, yeah, I'm on my own.
On in the air, put you on in the air. We no go to body for the clothes of them wear. So put them on them heart and I swear. I talk everything, but them see you when them near. No for them a Facebook friend. Out of me life, me delete the whole of them. Whole of watch people business, sit down on a chat. Them a chat, them out in a master padlock.
One tongue don't come next to me. I got no time for your sad story. Can't you see I wanna be among the living? I'm trying to be the 1+1 for the tree. Because of that you get rebuked sharply. Believe me now, your sin will slide by me. I won't be held accountable for your folly. For my sin, me, I'll be bringing to the body. My crown you won't take from me. If I live it, a kiss for shizzy. So please don't come next to me. You were infected with an STD. My crown you won't take from me. If I live it, a kiss for shizzy. So please don't come next to me. You were infected with an STD.
I don't got to I'm on my own, backbiting, I don't condone. We talk about you behind your back, real talk,
Brand new thing, man, I deal with this and you.
I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business, yeah, I'm on my own. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business, yeah, I'm on my own.
Upgrade myself lately. Dirty bad mind move from me. I don't can't face me.
Brand new thing, man, I deal with this and new life. New life, new life, oh, new life, new life, oh, new life, new life. Brand new thing, man, I deal with this and new life. New life, new life, oh, new life, new life, oh, new life, new life. Brand new thing, man, I deal with. Them must me change up. Bad influence don't good. I feel rearrange up. I feel progress in our life. Some people stay stuck. Them can't move. Them asleep all them life. Them never ever wake up. Them still asleep. Open up your eyes. They want the faith and I stay strong. Me I sing a new tune while someone still I sing the same song. Same song, them I sing the same song.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel.
Since day one.
Listen to the Sunday and the Riverwood Show.
I'm assuming was the man that
We're gonna give you some good music.
Never gonna stray from this. Praise to the most. I know say them hate me.
Alright.
Me step up in a life. Me say them not rate me. Me don't care what people say. Upgrade myself lately. Dirty bad mind move from me. Man who can't face me.
Brand new thing, man, I deal with this a new life. New life, new life, whoa, whoa. New life, whoa, whoa. New life, yeah. Brand new thing, man, I deal with this a new life. New life, whoa, whoa. New life, whoa, whoa. New life, yeah. Brand new thing, man, I deal with.
Them gonna try me, but me turn it up a level. Them gonna try me, but me turn it up a level. Them gonna try me, but me. Them gonna try me, but me. Them gonna.
Israel, you already know. This is the new Benjamin album right here. What you got? Yeah. To the max. Come on. Come on.
No time to relax. To the max. No time to relax. I go better than anything you say. One word we are go for them. Anyway them there. When me first boys call it a leak like air. I'm in a business about a granny where I scream and a bell. Let the boy them sit up. This is the Michael of the day. Them could have fast like Hussein both them never could get away. Them have to tell me how they go less than the head of road. Them a catch a attack when the saints get.
Come on.
Si e pa la loi papa le fait mes bouchons. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la danse c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux. Si e pa la loi papa le fait mes bouchons. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la danse c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux.
Tendez bien, pas fait me fâcher. C'est Benjamin qui parle palais. Can't set it off. Beast mode. My weapon is automatic, no reload. Me and my brothers running through the city though. Every corner getting debo.
Here's what I said to check out those new Benji album songs. Very soon you can get them at originalroyalty.com.
Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux. Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouche. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux.
C'est big up original royalty.
Pas fait me fâcher, c'est Benjamin qui parle palais.
Prêt.
Can't set it off. Beast mode. My weapon is automatic, no reload. Me and my brothers running through the city though. Me and my brothers running through the city though. Me and my brothers running through the city though. Me and my brothers. Me and my brothers. Me and my brothers running through the city though. Every corner getting debo. We special type that never seen before. Cream of the crop with a primo. Tell her I pipe up, Amy Dex with the sword, many bodies getting cut, Hey, you in a room full of slayers, they don't never miss they target if you wanna try your luck, Hey, I'm addicted to the warfare, spirit bomb, many bodies when the smoke clear. Roll them up, we gon' start a bonfire. Bring the heat with the illest when it come out to the wire.
Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux. Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux. L'idée Théronome chapitre 28 verset 1. Juste à 14 c'est bénédiction nous t'es gagné. Nous pas de côté le matin commencer à verset 15. Privé ça c'est qui pouvait Israël c'est nous-mêmes. Nous fait comprendre chrétien pas même à chrétianisme. Souvent le consali travail en chapitre 26. Disponible pour nous pas quitter au passé on en bêtise. On voit des haïtiens mais qu'on y en les israélites. Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux. Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte nous. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux, bon Dieu jaloux, bon Dieu jaloux. La loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu. Si et pas la loi pas parler ferme un bouchon. Pour rassembler Israël li sous compte. N'a pas lavé tête peuple la loi c'est shampoo. Pas rien pas la donne c'est pour nous bon Dieu jaloux.
Feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Ain't no feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Ain't no circle in the air. I don't need a rush. We on now. Tell you what the truth is. You thought you was something, but you was useless. I'm ruthless. Oh so ruthless. I'ma live for feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Ain't no feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Feeling like a man now. Ain't no moment of silence. Let me thank the Lord, for everything I got. I was going hard. Came up in the struggle, now I'm living Lord. Put my circle in the air, I don't need a rush. We on now, tell you what the truth is. You thought you was something, but you was useless. I'm ruthless, oh so ruthless. I'ma live forever and you can never refute this. I'm the chosen though, what you heard about? Heard you been talking, don't take the word of mouth. I just take a vacation, I do it every day. You be in the skinny blind, I be getting fast lane. I be getting blessings now, it be raining every day. Suffered in my past life, saw ball every day. See me how I shine bright, you change every day. Neck from the top down, stay fresh in every way. Feeling like a man now, and I got the power in my hand now. 24/7 with the fam now. Look, I be anywhere cause I can now. Feeling like a man 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 now. I put my foot there so that mean I own it. All the riches that you got, bring it here, I want it. I be running cities and I'm trying to focus, but you hate me for it. Didn't thought I noticed. You hopeless, you so hopeless. Shutting down everywhere, don't you know I own this? Yeah, we be the real ones, you can't clone this. I be having superpowers, flying with my homie. If I roll anywhere, then I roll with the crew. Roll up to your city and we show you what it do. Everybody make blame when he see me coming through. A lot of dudes fake, so I only just a few. Yeah, I was in the hood, now I be up in the burbs. Use it my hand now. 24/7 with the fam now. Look, I be anywhere cause I can now. Hey, you know feeling like the man now. Feeling like the man now. Feeling like the man now. Hey, you know what? Feeling like the man now. Feeling like the man now. Feeling like the man now. What he talking about? We got the bragging rights. We got the bragging rights. What he talking about? We got the bragging rights. Fire! We got the bragging rights. We got the bragging rights. We got the bragging rights. What he talking about? We got the bragging rights. We got the bragging rights. I'ma follow anywhere you go. Anywhere. Pick up then I gotta let you know. Let you know you leave me cause I cannot let you go. Cannot let you go. You leave me cause I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go.
This is what I tell you on the Reverend Wood Show. You can get songs like these. Come on.
I'm fixing myself.
You know what? Do it.
I'ma get it right.
Give praise and most always.
It's very dark here.
Just remember to keep the commandments, Israel. Come on out.
Anywhere you go, anywhere. Pick up then I gotta let you know. Let you know you leave me cause I cannot let you go. Cannot let you go. You leave me cause I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I won't let you. I won't let you down. I won't let you. I won't let you down. I made up my mind. Want this forever. You're too hard to find. You are a treasure. Rain or shine, I'ma hold you down, not gon' waste your time. You was there for me all the time. Didn't know what I had, I was too blind. Yeah, you was always down for me. How did you put up with me? You was always good to me. Hey, let your blessings rain down on me. You bring out the best in me. Know you are my remedy. You was with me from the start. No, I kept you waiting, but I get to you, my I'ma follow anywhere you go. Anywhere. Pick up then I gotta let you know. Let you know you leave me cause I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. You leave me cause I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I won't let you. I won't let you go. I won't let you.
Shalom, Israel. Some rockets in the building. Hip, all praise spirit. Hip, hip, You are now listening to Spirit Hip Hop Productions. Mosiah Pride. IUIC Music. Rockets in the building. Hip, all praise spirit.
Hey, yo, Ninja, run it up, fire!
Wait a minute.
Mosiah Christ,
You gotta run that back.
Shalom, Israel. Some rockets in the
Check it out, y'all.
yeah.
You're now in the mix with
Mosiah Christ bless.
DJs.
Shalom, Israel. Some rockets in the building. Hip, all praise spirit. Hip, Spirit hip hop, Israelite music, pop quick to kick around your doctor like you playing soccer. Truth music, everything biblical. The weapons that we use for war is all spiritual. Frontline, hold the line, I was born solid. Israelites going Rome like they named Pilate. Transforming, call them all Decepticons. Falling out this truth going green like they the Judas Stone. Wicked Jakes, best believe it be snakes. Trying to make the band follow, man, get the cheesecake. Yeah, we eat hate, knock them off like beef plates. Always giving arms, man, ain't never been a cheapskate. The right hand, it's a fire left for deep lake. The path that we walking, yeah, is narrow, better keep straight. Stop sinning, hold the line, that's the movement. All things out of the Bible, we stay true. Spirit hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip. This is spirit hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop. What they listen to? This is spirit hip, hop, hip, hop, hip.
Come on. For the first author of our beauty have created them, labeled them. Beauty is much more when you relate with them, way with them. Hate it cause they ain't it, can't compare to them, away with them. My sisters like the precious, no one mistaking them. You can't get her twisted. Nope, sick religion's fake to them. Girded English scripture, sister, sharper than the blade of pen. You can surely miss her with them critics and their labeling. The apple of a father's eye. Ain't no one replacing him. Kinky, curly, twisty, yep, realer than what real can get. You cannot define her with designer or a makeup kit. Driven is a given, she divine. I say she heaven sent. The maker left his mark on that. Who you gonna replace her with? Modest, not ain't novice, yeah, she flyer than the pelican. You can catch her with her kids. Got a house, that's how she lives. Ain't another better search the earth, and you ain't finding them. For Israel is the Lord's portion. She the one I'm riding with. Riding with.
Gon' let your light shine. You left all that ratchet stuff behind. Now the only thing that you screaming is Proverbs 31 be the reason for that virtue that you be bringing. Woo. And your price is far above rubies. Ain't got time to be a nuisance, cause as is the mother, so is the daughter. But you ain't really worried because that righteous example of your husband you follow. So his head wraps, fringes on, chilling on the Sabbath. Yeah, you ain't caught up in the madness of diamonds and pearls and costly array. And yeah, you looking good, but professing godliness is all that matters to you. Dressed to the foot, you ain't worried about the haters. Walk what you talk, hold it down for the nation. Yeah, support the troops, and it ain't no imitating, that's right. In Israel, you know ain't no nation greater. Woo.
So far from where you started. Don't be afraid to let the light shine on the world. So far from where you started. To let your light shine on the world. Let your light so shine, so men might say a good word. Oh, you're an Israelite, let the nation see what you want. Ooh, I got my dress on check, my fringes on deck, my head wrapped on, looking modest when I step out. Cause I got a husband, need only one man. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Cause baby, I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to. I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to.
Life too short for you argue all the time, you know. Real talk, yeah man, so make we have fun and enjoy the little time, you know. Enjoy we life.
Thinking about you all the time, can't get you out of my mind. This relationship is by design, 'cause baby your loving is divine. That's why I say, I got a husband, need only one man. Show me what I'm supposed to do. 'Cause baby, I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to. I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to.
Me no deal with the mama boy thing. No responsibilities you not have. You miss me can't deal with the little boy thing. Can't make big man moves if you are like little boy.
I know you have to take care of me. You'll always be there for me. Nobody can change my mind. With you is where I wanna be.
No. Expiration, this can't spoil. Genuine for real, you make me smile. One woman for me, they don't defile. Just one woman for me, that's my lifestyle. She said she never felt like this, yeah. Strong man, yeah, me makes you feel Christmas. If me not there, then she wouldn't exist, yeah. Help me, she want for assist, yeah.
I got a husband, need only one man. Show me what I'm supposed to do. 'Cause baby, I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to. I love you, I need you, I do what you want me to.
With a rip from Adam, God made him a wife. Man feel the happy with now fuss or fight. Me prove you and me recognize. Are you are the righteous rip from beside. When we come one, then love multiply. Cause you plus me equal, never divide. You go strong, stay friends for the rest of your life. Cause a righteous man you need in your life.
I got a husband,
gonna feel fervent heat. Emergency, this is urgent. Keep God laws, so you're gonna feel fervent heat. Fire will burn them and it's blazing hot. And when the fire start burning, it a blaze non-stop. Fire will burn them and it's blazing hot. And when the fire start burning, Babylon a drop flood. Yeah. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Rule the earth with great oppression. Is the image as God that was surely suppression. Where you set peace, the people see the pressure, but the day of destruction is coming in the second. You can't repent, no matter make confession. The Lord create a smith and it's not a smith. I was Isaiah 54, no it ain't no question. My God is the one that I know. Fire will burn them and it's blazing hot. And when the fire start burning, it a blaze non-stop. Fire will burn them and it's blazing hot. And when the fire start burning, Babylon a drop flood. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile.
Whole time for the prophecy over. We don't want nobody blood on my shoulder. Said them cold, most I colder. Take a joke, hey, you don't know God. Take over is to take over. Fresh water wash your brain sober. Don't wait with weight on your shoulder. Born again before you get older. Whole time for the prophecy over. We don't want nobody blood on my shoulder. Said them cold, most I colder. Take a joke, hey, you don't know God. Take over is to take over. Fresh water wash your brain sober. Don't wait with weight on your shoulder. Born again before you get older. 4-5 deep in the street we be teaching. You better listen up when the prophet is preaching. Somebody getting cut, we exposing their demons. So rock 23:19, we see you creeping. 4-5 deep in the streets we be teaching. Creflo got the sheeps in the church and he's sleeping. Tides and your offering your house, I don't need it. The laws is the way to life, but can you keep it? We be the fishes of men and the keepers of my next account. Living in sin, now it's time to repent. George, if you want a fornication, now you bent. The laws in my mouth, they don't want me to vent. On the highways and byways, you setting up camp. Crying out loud, don't need a mic or amp. The word is going out and it don't need a stamp. It'll never come back till the work is done. Whole time for the prophecy over. We don't want nobody blood on my shoulder. Said them cold, most I colder. Take a joke, hey, you don't know God. Take over is to take over. Fresh water wash your brain sober. Don't wait with weight on your shoulder. Born again before you get older. Whole time for the prophecy over. We don't want nobody blood on my shoulder. Said them cold, most I colder. Take a joke, hey, you don't know God. Take over is to take over. Fresh water wash your brain sober. Don't wait with weight on your shoulder. Born again before you get older.
Take over is to take over. End game, I turn your plays over. I'll give you time to escape in a Range Rover. So hurry up, get your family, I'm waiting on you. 3, 2, 1, time's up. Over before it started, your glory is not a part of. You think you're smart but retarded, but end of the day regardless, I'm the one to get awarded while you stupid ass departing. Yes, any means necessary. First class while you hate it secondary. My status make it obvious I'm legendary. Little friends, I got many adversaries. Oh gosh, wanna school them like kids with the gods of the earth. So lavish is how I live. My people know what it is, and I be about the biz. Give thanks and praise to the Father, cause he made life what it is.
Whole time for the prophecy over. We don't want nobody blood on my shoulder. Said them cold, most I colder. Take a joke, hey, you don't know God. Take over is to take over. Fresh water wash your brain sober.
Alright.
Don't wait with weight on your shoulder. Born again before you get.
Nothing to lose, laced on my shoes. Life on the line, I'm being accused. Filled with pain, feel so used. I'm on the bottom, I've been abused. The road split, I had to choose. Saw beneath the surface, we the real Jews. I took control, turn up all the crews. I'm dying back to back, I see it on the news. I'm dying back to back, I see it on the news. My alarm clock is ringing, shit, I hit the snooze. I thought reality was real, I'm really confused.
Then we give it some good music, come on. We're gonna tap it for you today. Let's keep enjoying this music.
Separate from Babylon and Galera's one. Come out of my people, the battle is won. The gifts of enemies have kept us us down. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. When you're fed up of oppression from the enemies, fed up of injustice and the poverty, fed up of Christianity and white supremacy, and every politician will full up a big speech,
Say shout out to those who online. Remember to share the broadcast. Notice on the river, we sure you can't get music like this. Remember to tune in on Sunday. Every Sunday, 2 o'clock, we're here. Come on.
If them look up, man, we kick out them titty now. Can't get a glass of water when them wicked up. Long to Israel when them see we in the city now. Kick off the dust off a Barnabas fit now. Long to Israel when them see we in the city now. Kick off the dust off a Barnabas fit now. If them look up, man, we kick out them titty now. Can't get a glass of water when them wicked up. Dogging on me yard, I get a better men feet. Only on the only day them gonna get some sleep. And take old pan east, a baby ill enough. Man, fly high emotion, man, no feel enough.
Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the
You know what we did on the River Show. You need some righteous music.
Babylon will be burning down.
This is Benji. Babylon be running down.
Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come.
Nuclear fire burn Babylon and turn them into ashes. Most high, Lord God, I must strike the matches. Burning heat and melt the elements, they can't stop it. Isaiah 54 is a vision from the prophet. The melting pot doctrine that has straight crutches. ICBM is salvation for the prophets. 2/3 I got dead, you know it happy happen. Scriptures dropping like a bomb, we clapping.
Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come. Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come.
Babylon now go burn and me can't wait to see. Israel! Sing on the sea. Back and you can't get the feet. Most of angel now back now retreat. As I spin it off like all of the sins I go burn like Satan rule over the earth like all nations them I go hurt like hellfire when the bomb drop down. People afraid, me say people are run. Watch them up and watch them spin and run. While the one turn them a chill with the sun. Man a shine, man a glory. Don't stop the man you did know me. Remember the hatred the man used to show me. And I be a mercy is my God a show me.
Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come. Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come. Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come. Babylon will be burning down. See the tables turning now. Take heed to the warning now. Judgment will come. Judgment will come.
All of people don't put Israel when them see we in the city now. Kick off the dust off a Barnabas fit now. If them look up, man, we kick out them titty now. Can't get a glass of water when them wicked up. Dogging on me yard, I get a better men feet now. Only on the only day them gonna get some sleep now. And take old pan east, a baby ill enough. Man, no fly high emotion, man, no feel enough.
Faith that a full cup before I pour it out. I just need a breakthrough, going through a drought. Health ain't the best, plus not a lot of rest. Chest pain, stomach. Faith that a full cup before I pour it out. I just need a breakthrough, going through a drought. Health ain't the best, plus not a lot of rest. Faith that a full cup before I pour it out. I just need a breakthrough, going through a drought. Health ain't the best, plus not a lot of rest. Chest pain, stomach pains, migraines, well. Read through, pray 911 for help. Trying to keep my household together like a belt. Might have to downgrade, we ain't got wealth, just cynical. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Send the prayers for me. Pray for me, pray for me. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Going through it, y'all, hey, pray for me. Send the prayers for me. Pray for, 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 pray for.
Hope you enjoy yourself out there.
Judge right. all night getting precepts right. Got both fists ready since Satan wanna fight. Think he got me on the ropes, but nah, not quite. Got the haters watching like Cinemax. I came out the world, I promise I ain't going back. No pastor shook in the jiving, but we ain't into that. I'm in the Bible like a baby sipping Similac. You saying we ain't chosen, but how you figure that? Every prophecy written, yeah, we fitting that. I learned Christ was black, didn't know how to act. Now these Christians mad, cause I'm out here giving facts. I'm getting used to the hate. Everybody mad, we rebuking the gates. Prophets pay the protection to every single scripture line upon line. Please chill, let me illustrate. Mind elevate every time I meditate. Seeking wisdom from the scriptures got me up late. Keep oil in my lamp, I ain't going reprobate. Keep my mind on the key until I walk through the gates.
Got me up all night. Got me up all night. Got me up all night. Wisdom got me up all night. 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 Wisdom got me up, up.
now tuned in to the Raven and Wolves radio show.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High Christ bless. You tuned into another weekly episode of the Raven and Wolves radio show. Can we fix that feedback? Check. Yeah, you tuned into another episode of the Raven and Wolves radio show. The topic this week is stop celebrating pagan holiday, Easter. Alright, and this week we got with us, we got Officer Noah. They can't hear you, man.
Hey, turn on my mic. Shalom. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless you all.
Alright, we got Deacon Malachi in the building. We got Hezron. We got DJ L's in the building. You know, So we gonna touch on a brief. We gonna touch on a brief topic concerning Easter, just to give y'all a little understanding of the background of Easter and the lies they try to put in it to corrupt the minds of our people today. And we want to throw down these lies, like the scripture said, cast down and pull down these imaginations in our people's minds, and show y'all correctly how to celebrate the feast days according to thus saith the Lord. So we got some background on Easter, the fake holiday. Officer Noah gonna bring out some history on that. So y'all listening and take notes. You ready, Officer?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Hey, so Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. So a lot of us know that Easter is a pagan festival, but a lot of our family, even those friends in the world, they're celebrating Easter right now. Right. They got the Easter egg hunts. They got the Easter hams that they're in church right now. Right. You know, the big hats and whatnot, celebrating this holiday, thinking it's Resurrection Sunday.
Right. We got the Good Friday celebration.
Right.
Also,
all that coming from the period of Lent, leading up to Holy Week, so on and so forth in the Christian and Catholic Church. But a lot of our people, what we didn't know before coming into the truth is that Easter was representing a pagan goddess who, in many different captivities, had many different names, but it was all the same God reinvented. Right. So when you go back to the times of the Genesis under Neo-Babylon, or the first Babylon, the goddess was called Semiramis. It was also known in the Babylon of the Bible as Astaroth, or the Queen of Heaven. All right, many times that our ancestors worshipped this goddess, I should say, all the way up into the time of Acts, and even to the times of today, the captivities of America, Greece, Rome, so on and so forth. So some of the names that you guys might hear for the Queen of Heaven would be Semiramis, going back to Neo-Babylon. In ancient Sumeria, the name was Inanna. Okay. In Egypt, the name was Isis. Okay. These are same gods. This is the same gods being reinvented. Right. We, as a people, called her Ashtoreth. Right. In the times of Judges, times of Samuel, we called that goddess Ashtoreth, and we worship that goddess. Right. In the time of Assyria, we called it Ishtar. In the time of Babylon, we called it the Queen of Heaven. Right. So in all these different captivities, we were worshiping these false gods. Right. In the time of Greece, they'll call her either Aphrodite or Venus. And in Ephesus, when you read in the book of Acts, they called her Diana the Great. And in Rome, they called her.
That's what that Justice League character represents.
Right.
From DC universe.
Right. Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Right. So in Rome, they'll call her Juno or Easter. Right. And in America, we also call it Easter today. So those are some of the names of the same goddess, right, that you see represented today. So let's just go a little bit back in the history in the time of the Judges. Let's get Judges 2:13. This is the time in which we call her Ashtoreth.
Judges. The book of Judges chapter 2 verse 13. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth.
So our ancestors at that time, we forsook the Most High God for what? Other gods. As we know, can you give me Psalm 96 and 5? As we know that gods of the other nations are idols. They're nothing but idolatry. It's one of our most wicked sins that we have committed against the Lord. Read that.
Psalms chapter 96 verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord... Go ahead.
So all the gods of the nations are idols. It's pure idolatry. So no matter what captivity we were in, we were worshiping their gods. And we love to worship their gods. Perfect example, give me 1 Kings 11 and 5. Even King Solomon worshipped this God.
1 Kings chapter 11 verse 5. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth.
He went after who?
Ashtaroth.
He went after Ashtaroth with who? With his heathen wife, right? The Egyptian. He went after the heathen wife along with the other heathen women that he had, all the concubines and wives that he had, worshiping other gods. Because as we know, the scriptures say when you read that chapter, the heathens will lead you astray to other gods. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel 8 and 12. Right, so all these guys, Semiramis, Nimrod, Tammuz, all the same guys, right? Tammuz is what we see as white man Jesus today. The resurrection of white man Jesus today. Can I read that?
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 12. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chamber of his imagery, for they say, the Lord seeth us not, the Lord hath forsaken the earth. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
So the Lord says that we try to hide our idolatry, right? But the Lord saw it, right? Because his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And so he said, I'm going to show you, he showed Ezekiel greater abominations that our people were doing at that time.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Our sisters were weeping for Tammuz, who is the reincarnation of the son or Nimrod, the death of Nimrod, who turned to Tammuz. Right, and this is all going back to pagan festivals. So let's get a little bit of history on Easter. I got this book called Two Babylons. Right, go to page 99 here. I started in 97. We'll read that part. Just started the paragraph. Page 97.
Okay. It says, there can be no doubt then that the pagan festival of the winter solstice, in other words, Christmas, was held in honor of the birth of the Babylonian Messiah.
The bottom where it says Easter. 97, page 97.
Okay. It says Easter is nothing else than Astarte, one of the title of Beltis, the Queen of Heaven.
So Easter or Astarte is one of the titles of the Queen of Heaven. Her son was Tammuz. Read on.
Whose name, as pronounced by the people Nineveh.
Right, so the people in Nineveh or the Assyrian captivity, right, of the Assyrians,
was evidently identical with that now in common used in this country. That name is found by later on the Assyrian monuments is Ishtar.
As Ishtar. So like I said earlier, the Assyrian goddess was called Ishtar, the Queen of Heaven. Right, let's move on to the scriptures, just to get you some history here, right, just some history, so you guys have any notes, so somebody asks you, well, where is Easter in the Bible, we can actually show you. You know, this is going to prove that Easter is the pagan custom of the heathen for centuries, for decades, for millennia. Right, let's move on to Jeremiah 7 and 18.
Jeremiah chapter 7. Verse 18. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
To make
cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
So where do we get Easter bun cakes or Good Friday bun cakes? Eucharides. Where do you get that custom from? Our people were making cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Right? So now let's get that in again the two Babylons, right? Let's see where these cakes came from. Read right here from
they call it Easter bun.
Easter bun, yes sir, Easter bun. Right here it says the hot cross buns of Good Friday. Right there. I can read up here.
Okay, it says
the hot cross buns of Good Friday. Right there. See it? The hot cross buns.
On this side or that side?
On the bottom here. Oh, hot cross buns. Read start from the head. I read to the next paragraph.
Alright. It says the hot cross buns of Good Friday.
So those are the buns that our people make, right? With the cross on it, right? And we call it in the Caribbean Easter buns. Go ahead, read.
and the dyed eggs of, what's that, Pasch?
A Pasch, yeah.
Or Easter Sunday. Figured in the Chaldeans' rites just as they do now. The buns, known to by that identical name, were used in the worship of the Queen of Heaven, the goddess Easter, as early as the days of Cyclops, the founder of Athens, that is 1,500 years before the Christian era.
So 1,500 years before the Christian era, they were worshiping Easter or Astarte or Ishtar, the same Queen of Heaven, with what? Bun cakes, Easter bun cakes, the same customs that they do today, and they was having Easter eggs.
Right. So if this custom was really of Christ, it should have originated around the time of Christ, or the life of Christ, in the time that Christ was living.
Right.
But this is saying that this custom existed 1,500 years before, and longer than that.
Right.
But it existed before Christ came on the scene.
Absolutely. Read on.
It says one species of sacred bread, says Brian, which used to be offered to the gods, was of great antiquity and called bone.
Bone, right? So bun or bone cakes, right? So these are the things. Read on to the top of the next page.
Diogenes Laertius, speaking of this offering being made by Empedocles, described the chief ingredients of which it was composed, saying he offered one of the sacred cakes called bone, which was made of fine flour and honey. The prophet Jeremiah takes notice of this kind of offering when he says, the children gathered wood, the fathers kindled the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
And that's what we just read in the scriptures.
That's Jeremiah 7 and what was that, 8? 18.
Right, that's what we just read in the scriptures. That's what we just read. Now go to Jeremiah 44. Let's see if our people actually gave a damn. Right? Jeremiah 44. And start at 15.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying,
this is what they answered the prophet Jeremiah, sent by the Lord, who were worshiping and burning incense to other gods. Read.
As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee.
They said, we don't give a damn what you about to tell us. Come on.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
So they felt like doing whatever they felt like. They was like, I don't care. I'm gonna still celebrate Easter. I'm gonna still go to church on Sunday. I'm gonna still make these bun cakes. I'm gonna still burn incense. Come on.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
Right, because remember, during the time of Solomon, they were still worshiping Astaroth, the same Queen of Heaven. It was just now in Babylon they called her the Queen of Heaven. Come on.
For then we had plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil.
Right, because during the time of the King Solomon, we were in rulership, we had many victuals. The Lord was blessing us. The Lord was with us. But then shortly thereafter, the kingdom split. We went off into idolatry, and thereafter we went into captivity. Read on.
But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offering unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. And when we burnt incense to the Queen of Heaven, and poured out drink offerings unto her, we make her and pour out drinks offering unto her. We did make her cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men.
Without their men, right? Because the women didn't care. The women, right. Just like today, the women rule the men. You know, we going to church today. We going to celebrate the Lord's resurrection. And what they doing in church right now? They singing, they clapping, they dancing, they hopping around. They praising white man Jesus.
All right. The church is dominated by the woman.
Right. All right, so you can drop that there, officer. You can drop that there. So this is some of the history. Now, let's move on a little bit. Go to page 99 in the two Babylon. Actually, go to page 101. Let's start moving into the Newer Testament. Go to page 101, and what I want there is where it talks about right here, an egg. So it's going into the Easter egg, all right? Where did the Easter egg originate? As we read earlier, that it was part of the worship of Astaroth, Ishtar, or Easter, okay? Let's see the origin of the Easter egg, and let's see if that's written in the scripture. Come on.
An egg of wondrous size is said to have fallen from heaven in the river Euphrates. The fishes rolled it to the bank, where the doves have settled upon it and hatched it. Out came Venus, who afterwards was called the Syrian goddess, that is Astarte. Hence, the egg became one of the symbols of Astarte or Easter.
So the egg came one of the symbols of Astarte or Easter. Now they talking about fish moved this big egg that came from the sky. Let's see if that's written in the scriptures. Can you give me Acts chapter 19, and let's just go to the point, 34 and 35.
The book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 35.
34 and 35.
It says, but when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, great is Diana of the Ephesians.
So this is when Paul and Barnabas was bringing it out in Ephesus, right? Tearing down the doctrines of these false gods like we have to do today. Read on.
And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, ye men of Ephesus, what men is there that knoweth not how the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana, and of the image which fell down from Jupiter.
The image which fell down from Jupiter, or from heaven, which that image was the egg. The image was the egg. So when you have your Easter egg and you painting the images and you doing all those things are customs of pagan gods.
All right. Earlier you read about dyed eggs, because they in this the custom they have assorted colors. There's different colors Easter eggs that they have in this tradition they have today. You know.
Exactly. So what are we showing you? That Easter actually is in the Bible, but not as our people see it as, right? Now let's go. Now you said something about Diana, right? So let's get into that. If you can go back to verse 23.
Jeremiah?
No. Acts, right here in Acts 19:23.
Verse 23. And the same time there arose no small stir about that way. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, whom he called together the workmen of like occupation, and said, sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth.
So that's the same thing the pastors say today. You know, this is our money maker right here. Easter Sunday, you know we caking up today. We about to make this money. Pass that plate around 5 times today, because people gonna love the Lord today. Come on.
Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but also throughout all Asia.
So throughout all Asia, come on.
This Paul hath persuaded and turned away much people, saying that there be no gods which are made with hands.
So Paul was bringing it out. Paul was going throughout the regions of Asia Minor, breaking down these strongholds of these false pagan gods, just like we have to do today, breaking down the strongholds as we're doing right now. That Easter is a pagan custom, is not of the apostles, is not of Christ.
That's right.
Come on.
So that not only this our craft in danger. This our craft is in danger to be set at naught. But
so the same as the churches say today, that, oh no, these damn Israelites, they over here telling the truth. We got to stop them from telling the truth. Come on.
But also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed.
Just so they're saying that, listen, they telling the people that the church teaching lies. You know, they're gonna despise the church. They ain't gonna put their 10% in no more. Come on.
Whom all Asia and the world worship, and when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, great is Diana of the Ephesians.
So that same Diana is the same Queen of Heaven, and is now in modern time Wonder Woman. The same people we idolize today. It's the same gods being reinvented. being reinvented over and over. So this is showing you that the same goddess, no matter if it was in the time of the judges, if it was the time of Nimrod, back in Genesis, to the time of Acts of the Apostles, we were worshiping the same God even until today. So on that note, one last thing, how did all this come then to modern day Christianity as we see it today? Can you give me let's see, let's go to 1 Maccabees 8:1. 1 Maccabees 8:1.
First Maccabees chapter 8 verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them. And they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute, and what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there.
So now this is the Roman Empire expanding itself, conquering country by country, and this is what they're going to do. Read on.
And that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place. They had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them.
So by their policy and their patience, meaning over a period of time, the Roman policy or the Roman influence was there. Can you give me in this book, The Two Babylons, can you go to page 99 and read from that little segment right there?
Okay, it says, the month of Tammuz in Egypt, about the middle of May in Britain, sometime in April, to consolate the pagans to nominal Christianity. Rome pursuing its usual policy.
Is what?
Its usual policy.
So Rome pursuing its usual policy, come on,
took measures to get the Christian and pagan festivals amalgamated, and by a complicated but skillful adjustment of the calendar.
So what? That's going back to Daniel 7:25. So the what it terms mean amalgamation or amalgamated is just the merging of the two. It's the fusing of paganism and quote unquote Christianity. That's why you have Easter coinciding with the Passover, which we read in the book of Acts chapter 12. Can we get that? So this is a process of time. It was by their policy and their patience. So over a period of time, by them changing times and laws, as we know in Daniel 7:25, that the Romans, well, not at that time, but that who Edom had changed times and laws over time, so that now we take these customs as what? The resurrection of Christ. Right? When we know we just celebrated our Passover like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So they off in time. All right, come on.
You said
Acts 12:1.
Acts 12 verse 1. Mm-hmm. Now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church
So Herod was who? A Roman emperor, right? That was ruling over Judea at that time. Come on.
And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
He killed one of the sons of thunder with the sword, right? An apostle of Christ. Come on.
And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also.
So he saw that it pleased who? The wicked Jews, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the elders who put Christ to death. It pleased them, just like it pleases our people today to see us do bodily harm. Come on.
Then were the days of unleavened bread.
At that time was the days of unleavened bread, meaning what? The Passover, the feast of unleavened bread, which what our ancestors, the apostles, Christ kept the Passover, never kept Easter. You don't read that Christ kept Easter or anything. He kept the feast of unleavened bread or Passover. Come on.
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the four quaternions. That's the right way.
Yep.
Quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter,
after their pagan custom, after their pagan holiday, which coincided with the feast of unleavened bread. Come on.
To bring him forth to the people.
So who was celebrating Easter and who was celebrating the Passover? the Israelites were celebrating the Passover, the Romans were celebrating Easter at that time. It's doing the process of the amalgamation of the two holidays. Right? So this is now Easter in the Bible, as you guys see it. Go ahead, Officer John. I'm going to give the mic over to you.
Yeah, so all praises for that. I hope y'all took some notes on that. Y'all got a lot of insight in the background of Easter and where some of the customs and the traditions that pertain to Easter come from, with the eggs and the Easter bun,
right,
and all that stuff. It has background to it, and it's not just there because people just out of nowhere. It's because of idol worship. It's because of paganism. It's because of everything that y'all celebrate today in the world. It has some type of false god background to it. It has some type of idol worship to it. So we got to be mindful what we're teaching our children to participate in, and we have to come back to the true way of celebrating feast days according to the Bible.
Facts.
You know?
Hey, real quick, one thing I wanted to touch on, I didn't touch upon the bunny, the Easter bunny.
Yeah.
Right? The Easter bunny now, we see this as a symbol of purity, the white bunny, but it's also a symbol for the pagans of fertility. And that's why Astaroth or Easter or Astarte, when you see an image of this goddess, she had multiple breasts that look like eggs throughout her entire body.
Right.
Now remember, the same gods that they worshipped are still here today because we're in the same captivity by the same people. Right. So as you see, like today, for example, you'll have Easter or Astaroth, right? Astarte. You'll see that same symbolism on the Starbucks emblem, right? It's the same Queen of Heaven. Right? You'll have, for example, so we know that when rabbits come together, they have sex. Mm-hmm. They produce a big litter of other rabbits, of hares, and so on and so forth. When the hare was an unclean animal, according to God, right? Or in the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it was an unclean animal. But today it's now it was amalgamated or merged together with the quote-unquote resurrection of Christ, right? But what does that bunny represent? Sex. What do we see that in modern day terms? The Playboy bunny.
Right.
Fornication. It's all it's doing is putting in the minds of our people without even noticing it. Is the symbolism of fornication. Everything that you see there is all symbolic to fornication and sin and idolatry.
Right.
That's it. Go ahead. It's on you.
All these different customs are anti-God. So for you Christians that think that you following these pagan holidays in the world and think that you serving God, you're not. You're serving Satan. That's what you're doing. Give me Psalms 137 and 8. This is what we got to understand about the United States of America. Okay, United States of America is a concoction of all different empires that rose up and fell before, right? And the Bible calls the United States a specific name. Read it.
Psalms chapter 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children.
Thank you.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, "Raise it, raise it."
Who's the children of Edom? That's Esau, the so-called Caucasian. That's the white man today. That's who the children of Edom is, according to Genesis chapter 25, verse 25. It says, in the day that what?
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
In the day of Jerusalem, that's talking about when the Babylonians came against Israel to conquer them and bring them into captivity. And they had assistance, they had an alliance with the nation of Edom. Read.
Who said, raise it, raise it.
Raise it, raise it, meaning destroy it, because they had that hatred towards Israel. Read.
Even to the foundation thereof.
Even to the foundation thereof. Is that it?
Nope. O daughter of Babylon.
Right, so they were assisting the Babylonians to capture the Israelites, to bring us into captivity. Okay, so that's why the Lord is calling them the daughter of Babylon. Read that part again. Say, "Oh, daughter of what?"
O daughter of Babylon.
Right. So he said, "Oh, daughter," meaning "Oh, offspring of Babylon." Read.
Who art to be destroyed.
Who art to be destroyed.
Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Right. So if America is called, if the Bible is calling America the daughter of Babylon, America shares certain attributes that ancient Babylon has. And that's going into also the customs, the pagan days, Okay, that's what the Bible is going into also. And America shares similar characteristics when it comes to those days. Like, for example, Easter. We talked about previously in other episodes about Christmas.
Right.
Right? Okay? And these are all days America took from ancient Babylon and implemented it into its